Milprem is one of the most interesting drug names I've come across. So Milprem is a combination of Miltown or meprobamate, which was a tranquilizer medication that came about in the 1950s, and Premarin, which is a form of hormone replacement therapy. The name Miltown comes from a real borough called Miltown in New Jersey where the drug was synthesized, and I have a video about that here. History and controversy of Premarin is arguably more interesting. By the early 1900s, scientists and doctors had realized that organs and glands could secrete hormones that then had an effect elsewhere on the body. One such example would be estrogen that was produced by the ovaries. In the 1920s, scientists figured out that you could actually isolate this estrogen from a human placenta or urine. And the first estrogen compound that was used for therapeutic purposes was called Eminen. It was derived from the urine of pregnant women, and it was advertised as hormone replacement therapy for menopausal symptoms. During perimenopause and into menopause, the amount of estrogen that's produced by your ovaries decreases. And this can cause pretty uncomfortable symptoms like mood changes, hot flashes, libido, and skin changes. Replacing that estrogen with an exogenous estrogen like Eminen was helpful. But Eminen was expensive to produce, and in the 1930s, researchers managed to extract estrogen from a pregnant mare's urine. Enter Premarin, pregnant mare's urine. After it received approval from the FDA in the 1940s in the US, sales really took off. But taking a look at the advertisements, they're really quite unfortunate in that they send quite harmful messaging about women's aging. This medication was not without controversy. In the 80s and 90s, there were growing concerns about the treatment of horses on the horse ranches dedicated towards the production of this pregnant mare urine. And then in the early 2000s came the landmark women's health study called the Women's Health Initiative. And this found that hormone replacement therapies like Premarin could increase the risk of certain types of cancer like breast cancer and endometrial cancer, as well as the incidence of strokes, clots, and cardiovascular events. Fortunately, reporting about this study was very sensationalized. Much of the data was misrepresented and overgeneralized. But this fear struck a chord in the hearts of thousands to millions of women around the world, and it resulted in the very sudden, abrupt discontinuation of hormone replacement therapy, leaving many women to suffer from menopausal symptoms. Of course, our understanding of the risks and benefits of HRT is still evolving, but remember that it all started with some pregnant horse urine.